Hello, everyone. Happy Hacktoberfest again.
Yes.
How are you, Jamie?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Doing fine. It's been a busy week for both of us. We're just sort of catching our breath and thinking, okay, what are we doing? What are we up to? But it has been a week of Hacktoberfesting, and people have been doing some things, and that's exciting. Good to see folks here joining us live, and then hello to everyone who's watching this after the fact, because it is 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So for those on the East Coast, at least, it's smack dab in the middle of the workday. And I guess those of you on the westerly coast or more west, you're just waking up and getting at it. So
yeah, I think California would be 10 a.m.
Yeah, that's right. And then our friends in Australia are probably sleeping right now.
I think someone said 3 a.m.
Yeah. Is someone here at 3 a.m.? Oh, there's Amanda. Amanda, what are you doing awake? Isn't it late? Or early? Like, depending on, like, wow. Glad you're here, though. I don't want to scare you off. Anyways, hey there, Murray and Stephen, John, and Amanda, and anyway, everyone else who's joining us. So great stuff. So what should we start with? We talked about some of the things we can share, but we didn't actually talk about an order. Do you want to talk about the documentation of what you're doing, and then I can go in to show what I've done as a tester?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, first, I want to link to. First, I just want to link to the week 2 post for Hacktoberfest.
Oh, good.
Which now I lost the window. Which I'll post it in the chat. That's where you can see what sort of things you could work on, and where you can ask questions or make suggestions on things you would like to see improved. And also there's a link to register if you haven't yet and would like to participate. So yeah,
I liked your response when you said the only time it's too late to register is November 1st.
That's true. Yes. Hacktoberfest is all year, or not all year long, all month long. So yeah, as long as, I mean, yeah, you can make changes up until November 1st, and they will still count for WikiTree Hacktoberfest and also the official Hacktoberfest. Also, I saw this year that the official Hacktoberfest is giving away T-shirts again, but it's only for the first 10,000 people that make 6 or more changes. So I don't know if any of us are going to make that.
Wow. That's wild.
So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and hopefully Rob will show up after his exercise so that he can take us through what's happening with the Sorcerer, because I saw lots of people have been making requests, and I think there's some people who are at least starting on doing stuff. So
yes, I know Riel made or added 2 new things. He started last month, but finished this month, so he had a bit of a head start.
Yeah.
And then I know someone made some suggestions in, I think, the week 2 post. So yeah, like, if you have suggestions on sites to add and they're not there yet, maybe it will inspire someone to work on that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we were, before I got distracted,
we were talking about documentation.
Yes. Or documentation
for the new API, right?
Yes, the new API, yes. So yeah, the new API is not quite ready yet. There was a bug that I found while I was there's Rob.
There's Rob. Were your ears burning? We were just talking about you.
Hi. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so for the Get Connections API, when I was writing examples, I found another bug, so that had to get thrown back. I'm aiming to get it done today. Although Greg has already had early access to it, and he has something pretty cool to show off to kind of show, well, what sort of things you can make with it. So not sure if Greg wants to show that off.
Take it away? Okay, yeah. Let me take it away. Yeah. Oh, well, that's let me start. I just want to start in a fresh page. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So I've made a tester page, and I've modeled it on the testers pages that are in the GitHub API examples folder. So if it looks sort of similar, that's because I just copied, bold-facedly copied the code and just changed the names to protect the innocent, or not innocent, whatever as the case may be. So with the get connections, the thing is you need to have two key. It's the keys field. You need two values in it, separated by a comma. But I thought it's easier in terms of the tester to have two separate fields to enter them in. These are the fields here. You can actually have any field, and it'll find them for you. But for my tester app, there's actually some additional fields that it's going to fill in as well. But you can choose the type of relationship, and Jamie has the zero means the shortest connection. One is the shortest direct relationship. So if you're through biological relationships, and then all these other ones all mean something, but I haven't had a chance to update the text in the dropdown. They'll do whatever number 2 is or what number 3 is, but they're not all shortest connections. So I will fix that.
Do you want me to maybe quickly mention what those are?
Sure. Well, maybe I'll give an example of what 0 and 1 looks like.
Okay.
And then we can try some of the other ones. So the default in the tester, if you don't change any of this, is Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Leo XIV. And if I hit connections, it's going to give you the path in words: Elizabeth, her parent, and then his sibling, and then his spouse, and so on and so on. But then it draws a pretty picture for you, which is similar to, basically, I've just sort of repurposed the code that I have in a number of my tree apps to draw the connections, but I added these funky orange arrows because I could. And it gives me the connections API. It tells me parent, sibling, whatnot. And because of gender, I can figure out the more specific name: father, brother, sister, whatever. And in this one, and I also was able to grab, because I also checked the data status field, the connection, whether it's confirmed or, and none of these are by DNA, but when I put in my name in it, for example, we'll see some DNA flags there as well. And then, of course, here's the raw data, the JSON results for the data, prettily printed there and stuff. And so you can see I've asked for fields that you may not need in your own apps, depending on what you're doing. But for me, I needed the photo field so I could print the little thumbnail pictures, or the silhouettes if there were no. I needed the gender. I needed the birth and death date to get the lifespan there. I needed the data status, so I could tell this here, father 20 and mother 20 means that the father is confirmed, or not confirmed, is confident. Father's confident, mother's confident. If it was 30, then it is confirmed by DNA. And then let's see, 10 is uncertain, and and 5 is non-biological, I think. There's a decoder for those codes as well. But so that's the default one. If you don't indicate relationship, then this is the one you'll get. But if you say, I wanted to see if they are directly related, then I'm going to hit get connections. And you can go straight from Elizabeth to Pope Leo, going only through relatives. Now, the one interesting thing here is they are not actually biologically related, because this little dipsy doodle here is going from, let's see, can you see that well enough, or let me go a little bit here. Okay, so Carl's son is Christian. Christian's son is Luc de Poncier. Luc's mother is Charlotte Bellefoy. So this is actually basically a marriage. Like, probably he had multiple multiple wives, I'm guessing. But so there's
Yeah, so what I have in the documentation for option 1 is the shortest path excluding spouses.
excluding spouses. Okay.
Yeah. So number 2 would be through a common ancestor.
Okay.
But that would be kind of the same as the relationship finder.
Right. Okay.
Those Greg says that's an interesting situation because they're not actually related.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that would be like if we went to.
I see that problem a lot with the connection finder where it doesn't change color.
Yes.
If there was an unmarried parents, it'll go all the way through, even though people aren't married.
Right. So I could actually add. I mean, because I have to search for this case to get it to do it offset. Because before I realized this was an option I was going to run into, Charlotte would go over top of Christian, so it would look like Sophie, and then you'd have Luke down here, but then Charlotte would go over top of Christian, Jean-Baptiste would go over top of Carl, and you'd miss half, a bit of the story, sort of thing. So I could change color here, but this isn't the official connection finder, so that might be for another time. But we could try. Let's see if we put my name here. You can see that I am directly connected. I'm cousins with the Pope. It's not a close cousinship, but it's still a cousinship. And you can see there's my this first 5 generations are all confirmed by DNA. I don't know what happened to Jules. I don't know why I ignored him, but I haven't even made him confident. But then Jean-Baptiste is looks like I skipped a few generations. Anyways, there's the path there. Now what are some of the other ones?
So 2 is the same as the relationship finder.
Okay.
So that probably will just change it so it goes through a parent instead of brother. So let's see if that's what that does.
Oh, right. It goes through brother there. Oh, 2, you said? Yeah,
2.
Uh-oh. Oh. Not yet supported. Oops. Let's see.
Oh, is that maybe a bug with your app?
Oh, wait a second. No, I still had it on Windsor. Let me go back. Yeah. Let's go to Clark and then back to 2. There we go.
So that goes through the parent.
There it goes. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know it would do it that way. That's the first example I've done where like a parent at the top. That actually looks funky. It's like I planned it.
So the other options, 3 is the shortest path through a common descendant. So I don't know if what that would be useful for. 4 is shortest path through fathers only, which is not necessarily the same as Y-DNA, because like it could be like a woman's father.
Okay.
Like starting person is a woman.
Right.
5 would be shortest path through the mothers.
6
would be through Y-DNA. 7 through mitochondrial DNA. 8 would be shortest path through autosomal DNA.
Oh, okay.
And then 11, there's no 9 or 10 right now.
Okay.
11 would be the shortest path through ancestors, which is the same as 2. So it would basically be the relationship finder. But if no relationship or like biological relationship is found, then it would default to the connection finder.
Oh, okay.
So kind of like what we do on like the category thing, where you like find how you're related and it shows you like your relationships first, and then if you're not related, then it shows the connection. So that's basically what that does. So yeah, those are the options right now. And since we're getting close to releasing the non-biological and biological parent stuff.
Are we?
Yes. So it just started testing, or like the team started testing it this week. And so we're probably going to be looking for volunteers for that in a couple weeks. But that will also be added to this API once that's finished.
Oh, nice.
So So you could find connections through your adopted parents and stuff like that. So.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. Excellent. Okay. Super. So I will update this list to correctly describe what kind of relationship we're using. And I guess I should say, like, if you pick something like this and there's nothing, I should probably put a message to say why it looks like there's nothing here or whatever. But, anyways, so I can put a link to that in the show notes there or whatever. So people can play with that. So that was one thing, little side project. I thought, well, I'll just whip that up in half an hour, and give that to Jamie, and then I'll go back to working on the DNA app that I'm working on with Megs. That DNA app hasn't seen any love this week, I'm afraid. And I hope Megs isn't watching this, or else she'll be upset. But anyways, I'll get back to that. The only other thing I've done is, in preparation for work that Lisa Gervais is doing, she has volunteered to write documentation, free space page for the Ancestor Webs app. So I have added in the Ancestor Webs app, there's the sort of starter page that I had put together a long time ago, and she's going to be adding to this. And you can get to that by clicking the question mark on the Ancestor Webs app once I upload that, update that, make a pull request for that. So that's where it will be. And that's all I have to say about that. The only other exciting thing that I've been doing this week is I actually met with Ambar Diaz, and she has volunteered to help me out with the Mystery Box app and fix a lot of the bugs that I've been ignoring. She's done amazing work doing some date time manipulation and putting things using the UTC code, which I was sort of haphazardly sometimes using UTC dates and sometimes not. And so it was causing a few issues. So she's helping me out with that, and I'm very excited, and showing me a little bit about doing some AI, using AI to help you with your programming. So that's exciting for me. What else do you have, Jamie?
So I think the only change to Tree Apps was a small change by Riel, which I can show off real quick. Let me remember how to share my screen. Share screen. Trips. Okay, can you guys see the CC7?
CC7. Yep.
Yeah. So one of the features that you can do on the CC7 Views app is, if you click like on one of the things, you could add notes.
Oh.
That feature's been there for a while, but
okay.
maybe
I guess I never thought to have to click on that.
You can say like, oh, it's in progress. I searched for his birth record or something. So the change that was made is now it shows you when you wrote or last changed the note. So there's a little timestamp here. So very tiny change, but hey, like tiny changes are still good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that, well, and then the other thing is I fixed a bug that was in the family calendar app.
Oh.
I think it will be okay if I go there. Like, I don't think
sure
it's going to show any private information. Except my watch list is huge, so it might take a while to load.
I was gonna say you could use mine, but my watch list is huge too.
Well, so I think for this one, it only uses your watch list. So yeah, I need to reduce my watch list a bit because it takes.
I was excited that my watch list was only in the 3400s and not in the 5000s. So it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Like, I'm almost hitting 10,000 all the time, so I'm constantly like tossing profiles to other people that like are interested in them. there was a bug with this where if you clicked on another month, it was not updating. So now that works.
That's good.
So again, small bug, but helpful to fix.
Yes.
So both of those just went live this morning. I know that some people, after there's a change on Tree apps, have trouble getting it to work. Like they'll go to the drop-down menu and it will be blank.
Oh.
So usually what you have to do for that is do a hard refresh, which I think on Mac, it's
Shift Command R.
Yeah, Shift Command R. And so that will like clear stuff. So, or like any old code, so it will work again. I don't remember what it is on Windows. If anyone uses Windows, maybe you can chime in. And then Amanda asked, can anyone see the notes? No, I believe it's just you. So it's saved into your browser. And so when you load the page, it goes into your browser and grabs those notes for you. But yeah, no one else can see them. Although that would be useful, but it would have to be stored somewhere that anyone could access.
Right.
Which right now we don't have any sort of thing like that for apps members, I don't think. Like any, unless if they're just storing it in their own apps directory.
Right. Yeah.
But not for Tree apps.
No. Yeah.
Anyway, so those are the two small changes for Tree apps this week.
Tree apps. Okay. Good stuff. And no one's working on the WikiTree browser extension, adding any new features that we know of.
Not that I know of. I know there was some talk this week about maybe doing some sort of family search WikiTree connection sort of thing.
Right.
But no work has started on that yet.
Okay. Because that was asked about last week, right? And that was something that we used to have, right? A way to connect there is that one app.
Well, so in B, WikiTree B, which is a separate browser extension, there's a feature that connects, or like if you go to a Find a Grave profile, it will show you if you have, or if there's a WikiTree profile for that Find a Grave profile. And then also last year, one of the participants added some sort of connection. So if you're on an Ancestry tree, you can see or you can connect like WikiTree to that.
That was very exciting.
This week there was some talk about maybe doing that sort of for the family tree, where if you're on family search, you could see if there's a WikiTree profile.
Oh, that sort of thing. Oh, similar to what the Ancestry had.
Yeah. So there's been talk about that. I don't know if there's anything else. Or Murray says there's not anything else for WikiTree. WikiTree browser extension right now. So
right.
Yeah, that was an interesting discussion about the family search connection, because there's lots of different things at the moment. Like we already have a thing to say.
We have a template already, right?
Yeah, we have some tool where you can connect a profile, a family search profile, to a WikiTree profile, and then there's a related app. But the feature in B for Ancestry is a bit different in that it doesn't go and look on WikiTree. You have to manually put in the WikiTree ID, and then it kind of uses the WikiTree API to look for ancestors of your Ancestry person and your WikiTree person and figure out if they're the same, and then automatically populates.
Right.
So, I mean, my concern about the things like Find a Grave, the way it works on Find a Grave, is it means every time you go to a Find a Grave profile, it's doing a WikiTree plus search. So if you did that for a family search, I mean, anytime anyone who has the extension installed goes to a family search page, it's doing a search for WikiTree plus. I don't know if that would bother Alish or not.
Well, so what I was thinking is, because family search connections are a bit different, like we do have the templates on some profiles, but we also have that connection in the database. So trying to see if we could have some sort of API where people could request from the WikiTree database. And then maybe instead of like making a call to the API every time someone visits a family search profile, it could be done sort of like how Ian has the distance and relationship finder thing where it caches it pretty aggressively, just to save on API calls. So yeah, it was that sort of discussion was happening in the Hacktoberfest Discord channel. So if you guys are interested in discussing stuff like that, that's a great place to go talk to other developers. So
nice. So Rob, what we're all really excited about is what's been happening with the Sourcer app extension. Sorry, I'm just saying the word app all the time. After every sentence, I just say the word app. The Sourcer extension.
Okay, so there are several people. I can share my screen if you want to see.
Would love to.
The list. Share screen. See if it works today. I'll share screen. Collect. Okay. Are you seeing anything?
I see it, so we have to add
to the stage. There we go.
Okay. So just this is the main WikiTree Sourcer page. So this is a good way to find anything to do with WikiTree Sourcer. If you scroll down, there's a section on contributing to development. So if I click on that, this is the page we talked about last week. That's the starting point for contributing to WikiTree Sourcer. And I have a table here of people who are contributing. So Lucas actually hasn't signed up for Hacktoberfest, I don't think, but he did. He implemented Matricular and I think Archeon a while ago, which are German sites.
Can you zoom in a couple degrees just to make it a little easier to read?
Okay. Does that help?
That helps. Yeah, that's even better. Yeah.
And someone requested a feature change to Matricular, and he actually went ahead and added 3 other German sites. So we have some increased support for Germany this month. It's not released yet. And then Brielle decided to jump into Sourcer and give it a try. And he added 2 South African sites. That's completed, but it's not in the release version yet. And then Rick Peterson has been working on a French site, the Archives of Basse Rhine. And he has pretty much done. It's not integrated into the main repo yet, but it's about ready for testing. So those are the main progress so far. And then there's several other people who have signed up that I haven't heard on their progress yet. So there's a couple of Australian ones. Chris signed up, is interested in testing. She has some programming experience, but not JavaScript. So decided it'd be better to just focus on testing. And then Jamie thought she might have time to work on Genealogy Bank, but I don't know. She's pretty busy, so I don't know if that's going to happen. And then Steve has picked up Welsh newspapers. So he's been getting up to speed on the dev environment. And then just recently, Jason, who I haven't spoken to, put a note on the US Veterans Legacy Memorial request saying he was going to work on that. So those are the ones that I know of that are being looked at. On this page, there's also information about contributing to Hacktoberfest and also links to the GitHub. So the README file on GitHub, if someone's interested or wants to just read up on what's involved in contributing to Sourcer, this is kind of the starting point for all the development documentation. There's these guides here, like this guide to setting up the environment, which is usually if you haven't worked on open source before, that's kind of the first hurdle.
It's a bit of a hurdle, yes.
Yeah, you have to know GitHub and Git Git's probably the bigger issue. Like, how do you create a fork on GitHub and integrate things? And then there's also the local test environment, which uses Node.js. So you end up using NPM, which is the Node package manager. Generally, people who've never used it before go through it fairly smoothly. If people have used Node and JavaScript like a few years ago and have forgotten all about it, they have stuff already on their machine, and it creates problems. Yeah. And then once you've done that, there's the different steps. Like, this is the main thing that describes what's involved in adding support for a new site. And that gives you an idea of how to. There's actually a script which I wrote, which will create all the files and folders for you for your new site. And now I've just changed it so it also updates the manifest file for you as a starting point. So it basically creates all the functions you should need, and then you basically have to go and fill out the functions for like how to extract the information from the site that, a record page on the site you're interested in. The first step is, and that's usually quite fun, it's like, how do you pull the bits off the page? Like, where do you find the name and the dates and things? And then there's a step to try and take that information you've extracted and put it into a common format so that I can generate narratives from it and do searches of other sites from it. And then there's building the citation, where you have to, there's helper classes that will help you build a citation using all the common source options, but you have to decide, what should I put in the source reference for this site, and what should I put in the link? Can I have a link to a record, that kind of thing. And so reading through here is a good starting point. So I don't know if anyone has any questions on contributing to Saucer.
Any questions? I don't see any questions.
Another thing I could show you is what it looks like in Visual Studio. Okay. So I use Visual Studio. You don't have to. Let me share that window. That might be a bit small.
It is. I don't know if you're. Yeah, I don't know how to just make the.
Yeah. I don't know if you can zoom that particularly, but basically these are all the files on the left here that are part of the extension. And then there's basically down, so in the extension, there's a folder for all the common code. Then there's a folder for each site. Right. So there's you pick a name for your site with 10 letters or less. So say FreeBMD, and then all these files typically get generated for you, and you'd go and start off in the extract process. So you go and fill out the extract data function, and so on. That's probably it's too much information.
No, that's okay. Now, do you have with your, this is sort of off to the side question, but with VS Code, do you use the AI that's now an option inside it?
I don't know. I mean, I've used ChatGPT and things, but I haven't used Copilot, I think maybe they call it. No, I mean, what I've read is that AI, there's been a lot of hype about AI increasing the productivity of programmers. But I've read some articles saying, like, if you're a really good programmer, it can increase your productivity. If you're not a good programmer already, it will generate a lot of bad code for you, and you won't know that it's bad.
And you won't know it's bad.
But I don't know. I mean, it might. I haven't tried it, so it might speed things up. But I'm a bit of a old school programmer and a bit finicky about my code. Like, I like it to be written a certain way, so I'm probably not the best person to use AI code generation.
Okay. I'm just curious. I mean, I thought that's probably a conversation that might be of interest to people in Hacktober.
Yeah.
And currently myself, because I use VS Code as well for my tree apps.
Yeah.
And I had turned on the Copilot, but only for the sort of code completion. And I found when I was first doing that, I'd do one loop and then I'd start typing sort of the next section. And sometimes, like I was expecting, you know, it would give you I'd type 4 and it would give you the, you know, the bracket structure, you know, so you'd fill in the stuff. But all of it, you know, shortly after I did that, suddenly it was giving me whole sections of code, and some of it was exactly what I was planning on typing. And it freaked me out that it was reading my mind, because it was exactly, except it was formatted nicer than I would usually format it. So that I did find helpful. And then sometimes it was way off, or it was going in a direction which I could see was logical, but wasn't the one I was planning on doing. And so, you know, being the adult in charge in the room, you know, I erased that and, you know, doing what I wanted. But I did, when I worked with Ambar and I met on Monday night to sort of touch base on the Mystery Box app and figure out how we're going to work together in sync. So I did make a Git repo for that app, which is a standalone app. So it was the first time I was using Git for that. And I was I couldn't figure out exactly, but she was showing me how she uses, she was using Cursor and asking it for questions sort of like meta level, not actual programming. So that gave me the courage the next day to ask Copilot, I think Claude is the implementation that it was asking, or it was using, how to get my Git repo connected with the folder on my thing, because I just and it was successful in getting me through that process. So
I'm using Cursor a little bit, and I don't find like code completion very helpful often, because like a lot of times it just kind of gets in the way of what I want to do. But I really find like because in Cursor you can like give it documentation for certain things. So I can be like, I can like add the documentation for whatever library I'm using as context, and then also like a snippet of code, and be like, I'm having this problem, like, do you have any suggestions on what I can do to fix it? And I usually don't use like the agent that just changes your code for you. I just kind of ask it.
That sounds scary to me.
It will like go through and like give me suggestions, and then I kind of, oftentimes it helps me figure out how to fix it. And like another time, there was some bug and I could not figure it out. It was driving me crazy. And so like I finally asked the AI, and it like was like, oh, it's because you're using a long dash here instead of 2 dashes. But because it looked like the same on the screen, like I would have never figured that out. I spent so I mean, it can be helpful, but it's also I wouldn't trust it to just write all the code for you.
There's probably certain things it could help with, depending on how smart it is. Like with adding a new site to Saucer, if you start completing one of the functions, it's got 20 or 30 other sites with examples of implementations of that same function. So it's got a lot of other things to look at that it could try and use to generate code for you, but then it doesn't really know much about the site you're trying to implement. So whether it would do the right thing, I don't know.
I know there's ways you can like train it too, at least in Cursor. So like I wanted it to generate some test examples. And so I asked it to, but I guess I was not specific enough. So like it was giving me like Bob Smith, born in 1988 and died in 1762. And I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. So I like had it write it rule for itself to check before it does stuff like that again, to make sure that the birth date is before the death date. And so like the next time it goes to make examples, it like will read that instruction file and
Mhm.
make sure it's okay.
That's funny. Cool.
And I guess one of the things, if I know some people are interested in testing rather than developing for Hacktoberfest. So I did have a question from someone, I forget who, about how if someone's adding a new site for Saucer for Hacktoberfest and they want other people to help them with testing, there's a few different ways they could do it. But the simplest way, I think, is really if they just create a free space page and they put a bunch of example citations generated by the version they're working on and then get people's feedback on them. But if they want more detailed testing, they could like zip up the extension and email it to someone. It's probably the easiest way.
Okay.
Or people.
Do emails allow you to send extensions?
Well, if you just create a zip file.
Okay. Like I think I had trouble sending one to someone one time.
Yeah.
I thought it was a virus.
Well, yeah, I guess if it's a zip file with code in it, they might not like it. But yeah, there's ways around that through Dropbox or something. But I mean, the other way is the person interested in testing can get on GitHub and get on the person's fork that's doing the development and then just sync that and then test the extension. But that's requires learning a bit more about GitHub.
But there are ways of doing this. Yeah. Good. Do we have any other questions from people who are watching live? Doesn't look like it right now.
Yeah, there was this one earlier, and I
commented
in the chat. But yeah, if you want to test the adoptive parent stuff, which isn't Hacktoberfest related really, but you can email me at jamie@wikitree.com, which you can find from the About Team page, or if you find the Hacktoberfest post, you can always, or not the Hacktoberfest post, the weekly site update post, or Hacktoberfest post, wherever. Find something that I've posted and just post in there, and I'll see it, and I'll add you to the list.
Excellent. Great. Well, I don't have anything more to add this week. Jamie, Rob, do you have any final thoughts? Do you have anything else to show, Rob? I don't want to cut you off. Did I cut you off?
No. I'm not actually working on anything on Saucer right now, other than helping other people get up to speed and little bug fixes and things. I mean, I could show one thing I guess I didn't show is the list of sites that people have requested that might trigger someone's inspiration. Let me do that. Okay, so yeah, from this same, from the site I was on, contributing to WikiTree Saucer. Well, actually, yeah, you just click on the README site to take you to GitHub, and then there's this. Let me zoom that again. For some reason, it's not letting me zoom this site. But on this page, this GitHub page, there's an issues tab, and then if you click on, they all have labels, but there's a label for add new site, this one here. If you click on that, it'll just show you all the ones that have the add new site label. And actually a subset of those is the ones with the Hacktoberfest label, which are just ones that I just excluded some of the ones that seemed really complicated, not good starter tasks. So there's 36 of those, and there's probably a couple that are in progress. People have requested some more just a few, like a day ago. So if anyone's working on, interested in working on Dutch newspaper site, it's probably fairly simple to implement. The newspaper sites tend to be the easiest ones. And then there's Bureau of Land Management, that's the US one. I know people were interested for the Westward Ho project in that site for sources. But there's like Daughters of the American Revolution. That's a subscription site. I don't have a subscription to that, but I think it's probably one of the more complicated ones. The most complex ones are the ones where they have lots of different records on them. They're not all births, deaths, or marriages or something. So you end up, if you want to do a really good support, like in Scotland's People, you can end up having all these different cases. Like, oh, this one's people who immigrated from Scotland records, and they have a specific format, and you want to cite them this particular way. There's one Sweden, and these, I guess, the oldest ones were at the end. Fold 3 has been requested quite a few times. Again, that subscription, and also has multiple different kinds of records, so it's more difficult than just newspapers or birth, deaths, and marriages.
So Elaine has says that she'd be interested in trying the Yad Vashem site if she can follow directions.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I know that's definitely been requested, and I just have a link to it here.
She did have she had a comment about that. The site is often very slow. Will that be an issue?
It shouldn't be, because once you've loaded a page, that's in the the page is loaded in the browser, and then the source will just extract the data.
Yeah, it only needs the stuff that's in the browser. It doesn't have to go out and get any more information, right?
Typically not. I mean, for things like Ancestry, it does. One thing I noted in the comments here is that I had a quick look at it, and the pages aren't so much, from what I could see, they're not so much specific records. They're more like profile pages. They're like there's like one page per person in this site. So then it has a lot of information about that person. I don't know if they cite specific other sources, but so it's a little bit of a in-between kind of site, being it's kind of in between profile pages, like doing Ancestry profile pages versus record pages.
Right.
But so you might want to support something like add person from the site.
Right. Oh, add person. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, Elaine said it's support. I noticed it's supported on B. So I mean, there's always multiple levels of support as well. I mean, you could just like start off with very basic support.
Neat. Great. Well, I think that does it for this week. I will be celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend, so I'll be thankful for everyone else who's working on Hacktoberfest. And you guys don't have any special holiday on Monday, but
it's Columbus Day.
Oh, do you? You do have a holiday?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Happy Columbus Day.
It's not very widely observed holiday.
Oh, it's not. No. It's not. Yeah, like most of our businesses are shut down on Monday, and
I feel like Canada and the US have holidays around the same time. Like,
did they plan that? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but we do not take a random Thursday off in November and call it Thanksgiving. So we do ours in October, when it actually looks like Thanksgiving, and the leaves are half on the tree, half off. If we waited till November, there'd be nothing. It's just barren snow waste. And you're not feeling very thankful when you're shoveling snow, so it just wouldn't work. Anyways, well, thank you both for joining me today, and have a great week. Thanks everyone who's watching this and is helping out with Hacktoberfest, and keep on hacking.
Well, have a good Canadian Thanksgiving.
Will do. Will do.